But anyways, um, we gotta pray for our youth, and this is why. This is why we have to pray for our youth. I was made a bracelet right here, and this bracelet has the Star of David on it. I don't know if you all can see.
Cool.
A kid asked me. He goes, "Oh, is that the Playboy Cardi star?" I'm like, family.
You're lost.
First of all, that's a pentagram. That joint's upside down.
That's a pentagram with the circle around it, fam. And hey, I'm gonna be honest. I mess with old Playboy Cardi. I do. Old. Before the pentagram.
Yeah.
But and then
letting us know that they worship the devil. We prefer to not.
But you know what's funny? You know what Playboy Cardi did that was funny though?
What's that?
He changed the pentagram from a regular pentagram to like a 2 or 3 star, and then the rest of the points are like a heart. So now it's like a heart with extra stars. I said, "Ooh, you almost got me."
Yeah, that's how
almost got me. That's how they get you. Not I. Not I. That's welcome to the Background Noise Podcast, everyone. Thank you for having us in the background for the 3rd episode, and we've been on it too. This is the 3rd episode in a row.
Week after week after week, we don't miss.
No, we don't. We're dedicated niggas. Even when we're away from each other, we will Zoom. We'll take it back to COVID for you. So
big facts.
Yes. Let's get this ball rolling.
Sister Tay, what is our first topic?
I'm gonna pause here for a second.
Okay.
So out of all of the questions, like I didn't know which ones you guys were fucking with, because like I tried to break them up like the same type of questions, like so it could be like
go off the vibes,
okay.
I would like to personally discuss the Sir album and the Drake Kendrick beef just because that's relevant right now.
Is the Sir album that relevant?
Oh, well, I just know we all like Sir, so that's something we could talk about.
I only listened to it once, so I can't really get into it.
Okay, I've been listening to it also repeatedly.
You liked it like that.
It's got great songs on there.
Now that we're on it, what are you comparing it to in terms of like Chasing Summer? Like, what do you feel?
I mean, I don't think it's better than Chasing Summer, but what I realized is, here's what I realized. Every artist has a thriller, right? To me, as far as we know, Sir's thriller was Chasing Summer. So in my head, I'm like, I can't expect Chasing Summer. Otherwise, I'll be disappointed. Now, the singles he dropped, like Satisfaction, Nothing Even Matters, and Life Is Good, I thought were bangers. And they were on the album. So with it all together, listening to the whole joint, I liked it. I liked the Anderson .Paak joint. I liked a lot of it. Like to me, it's a good album. I'll play it on shuffle. I'll play it in sequence.
My problem with that, obviously, I like the album because Sir doesn't make bad music. Yeah. I made the mistake of expecting a Chasing Summer, not even kind of sound, but like a Chasing Summer experience, I guess. But what I don't like is when artists release singles and then put those singles on the album.
Why? That's the whole point of a single.
I prefer what the well, even Kendrick Lamar did that sometimes, but like even like so like I've like County Building Blues, to me that's a single from Good Kid, Mad City, but it wasn't on the album. But and then I Love Myself song from To Pimp a Butterfly, it didn't even make like it was kind of on the album, but then it turned into this whole different thing. So I mean, obviously it's not like it makes it a terrible album, but that's just my thing. But I mean, it was I definitely, I mean, Sir doesn't make bad music, so but I like Tay said, I do need to listen to it again because I don't want to get in the habit of listening to the album.
It wasn't terrible. Like I feel like because the other album with the ones with the keeps the evil. Yeah, I feel like he was trying to find a balance between Chasing Summer and that album, production wise and just everything.
Did that album come out after Chasing Summer?
No, that was in 2018.
Yeah. And Chasing Summer was what year?
2019.
Oh wow.
He did that back to back. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that was a great album.
Give me a rating.
Mm-hmm.
I will give it a 7.5. No, a 7.5, 7.5.
Really? There, you
7.
said okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna give it the same. Now I feel like I need to give it lower just because I feel like I'm not listening to it as much as Derek. So I expected him to give it higher, but I'm gonna say
I
the
feel
same
like
though.
that's fair. That's a fair number.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
feel like
it was
it'll also
pretty
grow
good.
on me.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
his music tends to do that anyway.
Yeah.
But
Respect.
I feel like
yeah,
it's
but
Yes,
like
sir.
a random day, and I'm just like, I just play this. And
Respect.
and his albums you can play from beginning to end, like really no problems. A vibe, kind of like Isaiah
Listen,
Rashad.
God bless that man. God
And
bless that
really,
man.
it's
You know, he's
crazy.
actually working.
Who?
Isaiah Rashad is working on his new album.
Oh,
oh
lovely.
yeah, The House is Burning is like a year or two old now, so it's about time.
That is crazy. It's crazy
That's
about like the Kendrick influence in all
mm,
of these rappers we have just mentioned. You can literally hear it.
Yeah. It's
It's
like I saw this one meme and it was like Baby Keem is one of Kendrick's voices. And that's how
yeah.
I feel about pretty much everybody on TDE except for like SZA. She's really in a league of her own. Like she's really like that.
Mm.
yeah.
But all of the
I
rap
wouldn't. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would say all of the rappers I feel like are a version of him or have a voice like his or their main thing is one of Kendrick's aspects. But um I think Baby Keem is a version of Kendrick. I think Isaiah Rashad's a version of Kendrick. I will say I don't listen to much Ab Soul because I think he'd be on the wild
Mm,
stuff. Like his song with Sir is incredible on the new album, but I only
mm,
heard it once and I had to let it go because he's
I don't think Absol is on that anymore though.
well.
I listened to his last album in 2023. His last album, it had some very like spiritual in a good way,
mm.
like messages in his last album. Because I was feeling the same way, but then my brother-in-law was like, nah, bro, you need to listen to his last junk. I listened to his last junk and it
Okay,
was very spiritual.
maybe I misinterpreted what he was saying on the Sir album, but
But I feel like also when it comes to people like Ab Soul, I don't know, because like when the only person I could really see it that has heavy influence from Kendrick is Isaiah Rashad for real and Baby Keem, just because like I'm like the way that they kind of rap and sing at the same time. To me, that's just pure Kendrick. Even though to me Isaiah Rashad just takes it to a whole different level.
I
I would
mean,
Like
even
to
Jid, I would say Jid too, and D
for sure.
Smoke.
But what I like about Jid is actually really singing for real. Like Jid can actually sing. Isaiah
Mm,
Rashad is like a vibe.
mm,
Like he's able to hold a melody, but he not like I wouldn't put him on a song with an R&B like a Mariba, like the Sandstorm with Jid and Mariba, and wouldn't expect him to like go toe to toe with Mariba.
mm.
On that song, I'm like, bro, Jid is really singing for real. Like
Yeah.
so, but what I like about Isaiah Rashad is like I really don't know what he's doing
Mm.
when he's on a song. Like I really don't. I'm like this sounds like rapping, but it's extremely melodic. It's very
It's
good.
beautiful, yeah.
It is very good. It is very good. And the House is Burning is actually that's a top. That's an album.
We're gonna keep
That
saying
is an
it.
album. I mean, hit for like bangers and there is no skips for real.
We're
It's
gonna
a great
tag
album.
him. Gotta tag him.
Yeah, please do. It's a great album. It's a great album.
Isaiah
Real quick, what is you all's favorite song from that album?
Oh,
What's your favorite song from that album?
Claymore.
You said, oh, Claymore, respect. Yeah, respect. Tay, what's your favorite song from the album?
Oh man, it's between what you said. That's really hard. What you said, Dark Seed, Lay with ya,
This girl gonna choose the whole album.
Headshots. Like it's
Mm,
I just like those, the
okay,
bangers, the
okay.
bangers. But yeah, so
Um,
what do you think
yeah.
about the Drake and Future and Kendrick beef going on right now?
Who wants to go?
Um, I could talk about this for a very long time. So I'm
From my understanding, right? Drake and Future are no longer friends, is what I've read. because of a young lady. So then I also read that what would Pluto do if you know that song? He F that hoe, or would he F that hoe? So I did it or something. And so that's a shot at him. And then later on, Future has Kendrick on his album, and Kendrick is dissing Drake. So I'm thinking like, I mean, I was thinking that Kendrick was just talking his shit, of course. But then I'm like, Future allowed him to say this on his record. And they have a whole album together. So I'm like, okay, there's some beef going on. Then I learned, that happened. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's
Why do you
ridiculous.
say it's ridiculous? What do you mean?
Like, why are we doing this? Like, I don't know. I just don't think it's serious. Are they arguing about who's the better rapper or what? Like, why can't we just all be good?
I think it's a mixture of, I think between different people involved in this beef, it means different things. So I think between Kendrick and Cole is competition. I think between Drake and Kendrick, it's more personal. And I definitely think between Future and Drake is personal, right? So also like Tay, I've done some internet sleuthing. Okay. And so people are saying Kendrick jumped out and did this, but it's actually a response, right? So a first person shooter, Cole goes, everybody steppers, referencing Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That mean everybody breakfast, and I'm about to clear out my plate, right? And before that, he says, is it who's the big three? Right now, I feel like Muhammad Ali, which means I'm the best. Then he says later on in the verse, the Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake, meaning it's only us two. And so Kendrick responds with this. But remember, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers on Count Me Out, Kendrick says, ain't nobody but the mirror looking for the fall off. Very direct. So I think Kendrick may have started this specific part of the beat or rap beef or whatever with that. Then Cole comes back with his verse on first person shooter, and then Kendrick comes back. Now, as we know, Drake is a light skin. We tend to take things personally. We get emotional about stuff, right? Of course, Kendrick drops Control in 2014, and it's very obviously a competitive diss versus like a personal diss. He says, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you. He names every relevant rapper. And of course, Drake comes back with I think I forgot what verse it is. Like, ain't gonna lie, your shit not that inspiring, whatever. Right. So it's been like a back and forth type of thing between them. And then Cole and Kendrick have been giving out the blows. But then, like Tay said, with Drake and Future, yes, pause. Between Drake and Future, of course, they say it's over a girl. And then in Drake, the first song of Future and Metro's album, Future's like, you a fan dog, you a this dog. And when he says dog, he's referencing Drake. So it's like, but that verse sounded a lot more personal than like a competitive rap beef. And the last thing I want to say before Christian goes, because I know he's gonna have a lot to say as well, is I personally think, in the eyes of like, I don't want to say rap enthusiasts, I don't want to call myself a rap enthusiast, but of people that enjoy lyricism, I think Kendrick is gonna win. But I think in the eyes of the general public, I think Drake is gonna win. Here's why. Not because Drake is gonna outbar Kendrick, but Drake is going to make a hit. It's going to have a fire melody. It's going to have a fire beat. And I think people are going to judge the sound of the song. Now, Drake can rap. Drake is going to come with good bars, a good verse. I'm not saying he can't rap. But I think people are going to judge the overall sound of Drake's response, if he does choose to respond, versus what he says in the actual verse. Because he can't really go bar for bar with Kendrick, in my opinion. And Kendrick doesn't have a scandal. He doesn't have some embarrassing thing that's happened. He doesn't have no girl that's uplifted him like Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill. And so I think only thing Drake could do is say, I do more numbers than you in so many ways. And then also have a better beat probably. And yeah, that's my take on it. Also, I think Cole and Kendrick is going to be the real, like, holy shit, what's happening?
That's crazy. I think I think all of this is a result of Kendrick Lamar being a very selfish rapper, and this is why I say this. Kendrick Lamar does not want to share. He does not want to share the throne with anybody. Because you gotta think with J. Cole and Drake, they're like, oh, it's us. Like, oh, it's us two. Okay, Kendrick's like, okay, cool. It's from the jump. From the jump, it's never been anybody else but me. Like, I'm the one. I'm the nigga. And I really don't think he plays about that at all. I really think he takes that very, like, he could be gone for 5 years and not care. But as soon as he hear niggas say, hey, I'm the best, he's like, hold up, you must have forgotten. I must remind you. So that's, I mean, everybody really said what I was thinking, or not even said what I was thinking. You guys really enlightened me on everything, because I'm always just looking at this from the perspective of a fan, not really trying to get any real information for real. So, you know, I just think that is just very interesting to me, because Kendrick Lamar, he is like, when I say he is extremely selfish, like, I really found that out with this song, because he was like, forget the big three, it's just me. And I'm like, wow. He really doesn't want anybody else with him. He's not. And what's very crazy about this, I mean, we're almost at Friday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Things drop on Thursday night for real. If something hasn't dropped by Friday, that says a lot. And I also believe when it comes to great rappers and rapping with Kendrick Lamar, they don't do it a whole lot. What great rappers do you know that always rap with Kendrick? Like, I'm talking about GOATs.
Yeah. He doesn't do,
I mean,
he may have a singer as a feature, but
I'm saying, even when he's on features, he'll feature with Travis. He'll feature with SZA. He'll feature, like you said, with singers.
ASAP.
When the last time you seen him?
ASAP. Rocky.
ASAP. Yes, thank you. And but that was way back in the day. That was when he was first starting. I'm like, some of those features he got to do because he's trying to make it out. I'm talking about by the time he made it, like he done dropped Good Kid, Mad City. How many features you seen him do with a J. Cole, with a Drake? And then it makes me ask the question, why is that?
I feel like it's really entertainment purposes, really.
You think so?
Yeah, like, because it's not real beef. Like, J. Cole's been around forever. When did Kendrick come out? Like, when did he start popping for real? That was Swimming Pools. I think he
started popping with Section 8, because he started popping in Compton for a minute, though. He was popular in Compton probably when we were like in elementary, middle school. Nah, not even middle school, elementary school.
On a national level, probably Good Kid, Mad City.
Right, but that would be middle school.
Yes.
So like 2012, 2011.
Yeah, 2012.
But I also think, niggas was really messing with Section 8 though, because you had ADHD, Spiteful Chant, and stuff like that. Niggas really like those songs.
Chapter 6.
Chapter 6. So you know what I'm saying? And then not to mention, what was that? You mentioned the feature with ASAP. When did that come out?
You said
what?
The feature with ASAP.
F and Problem?
Probably 2015.
Yeah.
That was wow, that's, oh man, that's actually a lot.
It was 10 years ago, bro.
Yeah, but I think that everybody just really appreciated Cole. Like, he was just that guy. And then, like, Kendrick just came out and just started dropping bangers. And it was just like, it was not saying that they're the same type of rappers. I don't know if you want to put them in conscious rap, but they're actually talking about something, like, the both of them. So it was just really a comparison type of thing. And maybe Kendrick didn't like that, because that was always a thing. Who are you taking, J. Cole or Kendrick? You know what I'm saying? And then I feel like he just really started popping his stuff, like I'm a God and things like that, which I don't understand why it's okay for him to do that and everybody crucifies Kanye West, but that's okay.
You're not understanding the context. You're not understanding the context.
I think it's wrong in a way, but
this nigga wore a thorny crown.
First of all, that's
with Drake.
Can we think about it though? Respectfully, this is my theory, and maybe I'm being a little bit biased because it's Kendrick. What if that's low key on the lowest of keys biblical?
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Why is that ridiculous? Hold on. Listen. I'm not saying this is fact. I'm saying this is a possibility. It's a theory. The Bible says, take up your cross and follow me. So I mean, maybe is he taking it an extra step? 100%. Is he doing the most by bedazzling it? 1,000,000%. I mean, you know, but I also feel like, in my biased point of view, that Kendrick just wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't blaspheme the Lord like that. Why would he do
The
that?
thorny
But I feel
crown.
like he's always called himself the Messiah of rap, though. It's a wild thing to say.
I just don't appreciate like
I
getting
think
on Kanye.
I see where Tate's coming from. I think both are wrong. I think the thing about Kanye is like he's just so like obnoxious with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think they're basically doing the same thing, but I think Kendrick has more of an air of like humbleness about it. Like he's not humble at all, but it's not like I am Jesus. Like Ye has an album called Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think Ye seems more obnoxious and like I'm the
But
Lord.
I mean, what would you expect? What would you like when people get upset with Kanye? I think they forget. I'm not gonna lie, if I'm a human being and I am moving at the very least millions of people, and I'm doing it in multiple generations, in multiple ways, fashion and music, like I'm not gonna say I'm gonna think that personally because of the way I've been raised, but like I can understand why one would think that.
Oh yeah,
I
I
can
used to defend Kanye real like bad in high school. Like he's saying
That's respect.
he's a god of his craft. He's not saying he's God. He's the best at what he does. Like I used to die on that hill.
I definitely understand how like one person standing in front of hundreds of thousands of people and they're at his beck and call will give you the God complex. I get it.
Man,
Yeah.
like Michael Jackson probably thought he was some type of deity. Maybe
Mm,
Yeah.
niggas
yeah.
will lose their mind.
Michael
Remember?
Jordan was called Black Jesus by other basketball players.
Mm,
That was extreme glazing. We're done with the
Blazing,
90s there.
crazy, double-handed. Them boys,
Whoa,
oh my
whoa, Derek,
God.
not the most. The most was crazy. Yo,
oh man.
These are great. This is great. That's
But
fun.
yeah,
But back to the Future and Drake thing though. What are they beefing over? Like a girl? That just doesn't
that was
sound.
a speculation, but I don't think so. Okay, so from the internet, I seen it was a specific stripper. I don't know where from.
Yeah, I saw that
And
too.
she posted a
Diana.
video that I saw today saying, "Hey, it's not me. Like, I'm not who they're
Mm.
talking about." But then she
Oh.
goes, "Those who know, know." So it's like, if they're not talking about you, then what do those who know about? Like, what do you? So yeah, but it's none of our business, I guess.
Oh, okay. So I'm reading the lyrics to What Would Pluto Do? It says, I've been out the way in the cut. It's been a minute. Working on the album. Now it's finished. Last time I saw her, she was fucking with my nigga. So the question is, what would
Ooh.
Pluto do? He'd fuck the hoe. So I did it.
Oh, oh,
Like, and that's a
Mm,
very direct, like, I fucked your bitch.
yeah.
no,
And when I first
because you
thought
would
of
do
that,
that.
yeah. When I first thought of that and I heard Pluto, I was like, is he talking about Future or he's just saying Pluto for the heck of it? But Future is
I
Pluto.
thought it was also like my boy would have did it, so I'm gonna do it.
Right,
I
right.
didn't
That's
even
what I
think of
thought.
it that way. Like,
Bro, do you understand how messed up that must be for Future? He's like, man, like full circle for real.
Let's talk.
okay,
So, not a girl who is my girlfriend or any of our girlfriends, right? Just a lady that we had a night with. Now, is she off limits?
okay, we're moving on from okay.
Making it, personal.
I would say personally, in terms of what I would do in the seeking out of vagina position, I would not want to go after a girl that my homeboy has hit unless it's been a large amount of time.
Hmm.
I don't know why. It's just the thing for me. Now, I've observed in other male friend groups, they do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and our
Together.
group, it's just never been a thing. Maybe the women we like don't find our friends attractive. I don't know, but it's just everything that happened. Also, we're very respectful of one another's resumes. So
Maybe that's
anyway, personally, I would not do it if it's been recent. But if it was like a one night stand and it was a while ago, to me it's free game. Cause like especially you're not talking to her, you're not checking for. Yeah, come on, guy. That's just being selfish at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really depends. Like personally, I would want you to ask.
Oh, always yes. Always yes. Definitely gonna be like, hey, I'm about to hop on Shorty. What's the deal? 100%.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a one night stand type of situation, I mean, I've never had a one night stand, but I could say I wouldn't care, but I don't know. Like my best friend knows how you're like in bed is like, but who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't.
I had a coworker at one time in my life, and we were cool. We worked together regularly, and she was like, "Hey, Derek, I'm having intercourse with this guy and they're friends." And she was like, and they found out about that, about all three of us. And she was like, and they both made a pact that they were both not gonna mess with me. She was like, and both of them secretly hit me up. And I still am fucking both of them. And I was like, yo. And what I realized is if it's about that vagina, dudes can be just as grimy as we think.
Man, that junk run the world, bro. That junk run the world, bro. That junk run the world.
I noticed
bro.
like dudes will be real, like women will they'll fuck your homeboy, they'll do this, they'll do that. But like we be the same way. Like dudes be the same. And these two
More
dudes are supposed to be
discreet though.
tight. Like you say what?
I feel like guys are more discreet. I mean, girls definitely can be sneaky, but like I feel like we all know someone who is having intercourse with people but is not disclosing that they are.
Oh, okay. Respect. Definitely. I would say yes. I think it's interesting because I feel like women are known get arounders because men talk. And I feel like women, this is my feeling. I don't think women are as sharing unless it's like their homegirls. I don't think they talk them as much about the guys they're messing with.
I mean, I feel like some niggas have one ugly experience and they don't tell anybody.
How you?
That could be their favorite eater.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like I know a few niggas like that who their concubines are not attractive.
Not the concubines.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something I realized the other day. Here's what I realized is that most of these dudes, now there are some people that are cut from a different cloth, no doubt. But most of these dudes that are talking about having hoes, their hoes be homely than the mother.
Oh, y'all are crazy.
Because I'll be like sometimes, like if we real cool, they'll show me, and I'm like, oh, this isn't. I'm thinking because when they talk about, I'm thinking, oh, this dude's out here pulling baddies, like because you assume everybody has the same standard. Now, there are some men where it's like if it's just physical, I'll lower my physical standards for the woman. Some men aren't like that. What I realized with just hanging out with dudes, talking with dudes, most dudes that got just a flock of whores, the average rate is like 5 to 6. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you got 8 in there, but
a handful of 8s.
That was a handful of 8s. That guy's cut from a different cloth, or he's rich. But if it's a regular dude and he got like a bunch of women,
100% from the layup from the free throw line. They're not out here putting up half court shots. They're not out here shooting the 3.
Yeah, it's definitely bank shots.
They barely shooting the mid range.
They're on the
floaters.
They're doing the mic and drip. That's what
post move. The dream hook.
And I think that's just for the sake of just
with
having
no defense. They just give shots.
That's not right, bro.
Just for the sake of having sex. Like you gotta have some standards. Like
definitely.
I don't care. Like she has to be like cute. Oh yeah, I hit that. I'm like, bro, you should not tell anyone that. Keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself.
A
Like.
weird flex, but okay.
So, how do you guys know when it's okay to make a move on a girl, like on a date? Like, how you know you're gonna kiss her tonight? Like, how do you make that decision?
Because the day or the night before,
Mhm.
they're always like, "Why didn't you kiss me?"
Mm.
Also, okay. I have no game. I'm not quite sure when. It's always a here we go. You know what I'm saying? It's always a
Mm.
we'll see what happens. Like, let me tell you something. What I realized is, and it's worked out. You know what I'm saying? For me, I have a beautiful woman. But for me, it's like I don't have great flirt game.
Mm.
I suck at picking up clues. Now, sometimes I don't know how, but the game just comes out of me. But
Hey, boy, the game.
but sometimes it's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I just try and get to know the person, and I'm like, okay, hopefully this leads to them liking me. But usually I'm like, okay, if it's been a date or two and she's here again, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
common sense says she probably
So the first day is too soon, huh?
Nah, it depends on the vibes.
it depends on the vibe. But I don't go into the first date thinking I'm gonna get any kind of physical act. I'll make it a point. I'll try and break the touch barrier. So
Mhm.
so we, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe we walk in the door and I do one of these or something like
You
that.
know,
But not on the butt, on the back. I'm not.
on the back, lower
I
backside.
didn't want to say that. I just felt like it had to be clarified.
No, yeah.
But I'll try and break the touch barrier on the first date. But I'm not a big like I'm difficult trying to get a kiss because some women are with that and some aren't. And so I'm just like, you know what? After 2 dates in a row, if the vibes are good, the conversation is great, and I don't feel like she wants me for money or free meals. And first of all, we're meals every time. But if it's the first, second date and the vibes have been good and the touch barrier's been broken, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. And then
And also, why would I want to make contact with my lips with someone I barely like? I don't think people, man, that's what I'm very, no cap, I'm very picky, choosy with who I really like. Just be that close to, like, all of that is very intimate. Like, I'm not finna, man, nah, bro. I'm not finna, not on no, because that's, especially after COVID, man. I'm especially like, I mean, yeah, I'm not finna just do that. And also, I found that like women, not all, but like the women that I've had my experiences with, they're very appreciative that you're not as like, or that I
That's how
was
you
not
get
like,
them. That's how you get them.
that I'm not like, oh, he's not trying to like, that I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I always like that because it makes me feel different.
Because niggas be
And I like,
thirsty. They be fiending.
bro. And not only that, I also found out recently, like when I was in Michigan, I was chilling with a girl in Michigan, and I was doing simple stuff, opening the door, closing the door, things like that. Bro, she like, man, like, yeah, I niggas never open the door for. I said, huh?
The bar is so
Like,
low.
my mom raised me
that's
right.
too easy.
My mom raised me right. I don't know what to tell you. But
I mean, that.
what I also realized is some women you can't do that with. Some women get a little too, in my opinion, of course, it's a game, it's a give and take. But what I realized is some women, they feel weird about it. Like the bar has become so in the ground that it's been times where it's been like, I'm just being gentlemanly. And they're like, you don't have to open my door. Like, it's fine. I don't know. And I'm not going to press the issue. Right. But also I've learned that some women take it as like oh, this nigga simp versus I'm just respectful. You know what I'm saying? So for me, you say what?
Then let them find out.
Nah, exactly. But what I realized is on a macro level, it's like women want what they can't have. So to your point of like not being thirsty, if you can be the right amount of flirty, the right amount of touchy without going all the way, then that's the key. Easier said than done, I guess. Like I said, this is a person with no game. But in all the instances where it works out, I like to say I'm better than half.
Yeah, you
Y'all
got
give me
it, man. You got it.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you'll find a balance eventually. But if you're a
okay.
guy like me who doesn't have any game, just figure out the fractions of flirty, touchy without too much. and it'll work out eventually.
It's beautiful because it's like you get them. Actually, I don't know if I want to speak on this because I'm just
Give the background noise listeners some game real quick, Tay. As a bit of a virtuoso yourself, give us some game.
So, my
Let me get my notepad out real quick. I'm ready.
like girls, like they do want you to kind of be pressed over them, but not to the point where it's like you have nothing else going on besides feeding after her. So like a good tip is like just don't talk to her for 2 days. Like no good morning, no just nothing because you're busy doing other things because you're important.
Yeah.
And then let her miss you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then boom, hey, it's like, oh, what's up? How you know what I'm saying? Like these people who are consistently doing it every day, I find because I've done that before, I had to learn.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
High
just
school
not
Derek went through a lot of trial and error with the being pressed. Okay.
hey, good morning. What's up with you? No.
Embarrassed that I was even that guy at one point in my life.
Exactly. Like when you not ignore her, but you're just doing other things. And it's like, he has something going on or she has something going on. I like that. I like that.
I will say it gets easier like when you have for me at least, once I got a job and I actually had stuff going on, like especially like once I graduated, it was like I really did have a lot of stuff to do today. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it should be. That's why you shouldn't date until you're older, honestly. Or like serious.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That it gets too obsessive and too possessive and just wrong. Yeah, it's too much. Being on the phone all day, like back in high school, like
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. I was like, all right, well, I'll talk to you later.
I used to think it was an only child thing because for me, it'd be like, look, we don't even have nothing to talk about. We just on the phone. Like, can we leave each other alone for a little bit? Like, what I realized is some people are just a little more needy than others. Some people are just like, want to be all up under your skin. And for some men and women, that works. For me, it doesn't.
I think social media also messed us up a big, like, because we were growing up with it. FaceTime got thrown in there, and it
Falling
was
on the sleep on the phone together is like a milestone. Like, FaceTime.
Skype, all that stuff. Like,
Ooh.
it
Not
was just
great.
too much.
All right, so guys, we are at the end of the episode, which means we are doing unlicensed therapy. Okay. And the question today is what advice would you all give to someone who wants to stay in a profession that doesn't serve them, but they have great impact on the lives of others? Tay, you go first.
Call me selfish if you want to, but it's not worth it in my opinion. Like just seeing um the way my mother works and her generation, sacrificing your free time or your happiness just because you want to be a hard worker or help others is not worth it in the long run. Maybe for a little while, but I feel like you should definitely be happy in whatever you're doing.
Christian?
Yeah, I definitely don't disagree. But I also think like the Lord will bless at the end of the day. Like I think God will see like what you're doing, even though it's not serving you now. I think eventually,
Mm,
especially if you're called to do it, I think God will see it and reward you somehow.
mm,
Even though niggas don't like this, even if it isn't in this lifetime, like I think God will see it and you will be rewarded because you're literally you're spreading the gospel, like you helping niggas. So I don't see
mm,
that going wrong for you, at the in the grand scheme of things for real. But
I'll play the
but yeah.
middle. I'll say
Mhm.
try and find a way to make it work for you and others.
Mhm.
Or if you feel an obligation, because it seems like this person feels an obligation to help others, find a job in which you can help others, but also one in which you can enjoy.
mm,
For example, I would say my job necessarily helps others. I hope it does in the future as I grow. But I love my job. I love what I do. And it's
mhm,
like, even on days where it's like, oh, I'm ready to go home, or I don't feel like going to work today. I still get to wake up and do what I love every day.
mm,
And so while I hear your obligation and I don't think you should abandon it, I do think it's something that every human being should at least try and achieve, is getting up every day to do something that they love. Because at the end of the day, if your job not serving you is making you unhappy, I don't know if you have a family or whatever, but that's going to bleed over into other parts of your life. You don't want to bring that kind of spirit home to your kids, to your wife, to your girlfriend. You don't want to resent other people because you're doing so much for them and you feel like nothing's fulfilling for you. So I would definitely say everything is about balance. There's always too much of something except for loving the Lord. There's always too much of something. You know what I'm saying? So I would say find a happy medium.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, guys, were you about to say something?
No, I was gonna say end of another episode.
Yes, sir, Ski.
The driveway, finished with your laundry, your dishes, or whatever. We appreciate you for listening, for watching, and just keep on tuning in. Great content on the way, and we appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Much love to the background gang.
BGN, BGN, BGN. Oh. That was so gay, y'all. Yeah.